Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, my mom's a computer science teacher and does video and photography in high school back home. So that's one of the things. So she has a huge setup. So I'm really familiar with all the AV equipment and.
Yeah, I'm getting in the photos as well. So there you go.
Okay, so let me turn this live. Oh, that one. Nope. That one. I think I've done this before. Okay. Welcome everybody. My name is Lynette Birkin with Suite 171 here on ShortCast TV. Thanks for joining us live tonight. Tonight we have a special guest. Cooper, tell us your last name.
Beerscheid.
Beerscheid, from Protosthetics here in Fargo. And, let's just start with some small talk. Tell us some more, just tell us about you.
Yeah, so I'm a senior at North Dakota State University, finishing up here in December with my undergrad in manufacturing engineering. Background, I'm from Watertown, South Dakota originally.
Okay.
I got done with an internship this summer and last summer with 3M, and so really looking at, have this huge entrepreneur background. My dad owning his own business, and also it's a second generation business from my grandpa, a sporting goods store in Watertown.
Okay.
And also my mom is a computer science teacher, teaches a lot of technology, kind of inspired me there. So I really wanted to create a business that I could create a product for that would help out society and improve someone's life.
Okay, so tell me again, your degree is in?
Manufacturing engineering.
Engineering, okay.
It's kind of like a twist between a mechanical engineering degree and a industrial engineering. So about the first 2 years is mechanical engineering classes.
Okay.
It's more focused on, instead of making a product, designing a product, is how to make that product. So what type of process are we going to use?
Okay. So that really did lead in well with the Protosthetics business. So first, tell us what Protosthetics is, and then we'll discuss how you got there.
Okay, so Protosthetics is a business that we focus on manufacturing and developing 3D printed prosthetics.
Okay.
And so this is coming off of a senior design project that we had, and really rolled into my background working and focusing on additive manufacturing, which is the technical term for 3D printing.
Oh, okay.
So this last semester at school in the spring, we had three other guys that got together and came up with this project and to 3D print a prosthetic arm to reduce the price. We found out this was the best manufacturing process, and that's where it kind of fits our background. We're all manufacturing engineers. So.
Now, is it common for the senior project to sort of end up being a business, or are you guys kind of unique to the program?
Yeah, we're a little bit unique. We were advised by an awesome professor who has over half a century of experience in the industry, and he really inspires, take this to the next level and not only help one person out, but how can we, develop a sustainable business that can help out everyone. And so a lot of the senior designs will actually end, and the technology just kind of gets lost in the lab. Just you see these projects that are just sitting there, and so we wanted to go forward and continue this as a business. And that was kind of the intentions from the start too. We had that in plan.
So who are the three other people that are in it with you?
So the other three people are Andy Dahlman, Michael Walmsley, and Tyler Skeet.
Okay.
Two have graduated now onto full-time jobs, and Andy is in his master's program for mechanical engineering this year. And so we have also now expanded our team currently to about 15 other students that are helping out on the project.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So the four of you founders, are all four of you planning on staying with the business, or
Yeah, all four. We have intentions with helping out in the business in some way. That some way is still being determined how much time we have and whatnot. But we want to see this through, and so whatever it takes is kind of the mentality right now.
Yeah. So I know there was sort of an inspirational story behind, why you guys picked prosthetics as your, as your main goal. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that story, because I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, so it was actually, as I said, our advisor, Dr. David Wells, it was his grandnephew. He's a boy. He's a 3-year-old boy out of Washington, was born a bilateral congenital transradial amputee.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, so that basically means he was born missing his limbs from his elbows down on both arms.
Okay.
He's just a happy, exciting little boy, full of energy. I wish I had his energy, but so his first set of prosthetic arms, we found out going into this project, were about $25,000 each.
Wow.
As we all know, kids grow, and by the age of 5, his parents and his family will have to spend another $50,000. And so we found that this is a huge financial burden to any family. How can we make this, more affordable? And with our background in 3D printing, we found out that we can not only recreate the prosthetic arm, but we can even make it better and make it affordable. That's
fantastic.
So
now, I'm sort of skipping through some of the questions that I prepared. Your professor, is he the one that is, let's see in my notes, starting a new class?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Yes, tell us about that.
So we started this class this semester called ProVenture, and it's the exploration of and research in medical devices, including prosthetic devices. And so he's coming off of a class that he taught for the last 4 years called MicroVenture. MicroVenture is about bone research and replicating bones. So it's a very similar class, but it's a spin-off. It's a 1-credit class, repeatable for credit, so you can take it more than once, and it counts as for your tech electives. It's open to any of the 3 colleges here in Fargo, Moorhead, and any degree. So basically, or even every grade level.
Okay.
So basically, we're just trying to get people around a table. It's student-led. There's no lectures, and we just be innovative and creative and I gotta tell you what, we had our first class period on Monday, and introduced the project, and I thought it would take a couple class periods to kind of introduce prosthetic technology to these students, and it actually turned out to be they caught on right away, and all of a sudden started throwing out ideas. We got in groups and we were working together, and all of a sudden, Dr. Wells just up and left the classroom, and we just kept going and sat there for another 2 hours, actually.
Oh my goodness!
And so it was just great to see how it's kind of a new methodology for teaching. The students are now teaching the professors, and so when you ask the question is actually when you are doing, or when the learning process is being engraved in your brain. Not when you're hearing it, but when you're asking the questions. And so this kind of gets you to ask those questions and be creative.
Right. Because any company innovating and creating something new, they have to think outside the box. They have to, and creating that way of thinking, can never be too early to start, teaching people to think that way.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So it's, his MicroVenture class has just turned out, there's been, I think, over 25 students that have taken it, of which some students have taken more than, I think, 4 semesters in a row, including one of our co-founders, Andy. That's his research for his master's degree is specifically bone research. And they now have, I think, working on 3 different patents, and they are the owners of all the technology, and it's crazy what the outcome that that comes out of this creativity and innovative thinking.
Right. So let's talk about prosthetics or protosthetics.
Yeah.
Say that right again. As you start this new venture, what are some of the surprises that come along with running your own business? What has surprised you the most?
Yeah, so first I was more focused on in the last semester, since this is only 6 to 7 months old now. I was focused more on with the team developing the product. What I quickly learned though is when you're building a company, it's about the people. And so, finding those people and those great people is a challenge at first, but I think I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I think I started to learn that learning process of finding the right people and getting the right people on your team, and also, listening to your customers is very important. We wanted to develop a prosthetic arm that has, 1,000 degrees of freedom, replicates the human body to the exact capabilities. But when we started talking to customers, some limbless individuals that had current prosthetics, they said, I'm going to be using this prosthetic arm as a hammer, actually. Like, no matter how many joints you put in it, I'm still going to beat it like a hammer. That's just how it works. And so he's like, why not just attach a hammer, And so I was like, okay, let's try it out. Let's print a hammer, or let's add different tools. You take advantage of what is not there, and maybe have some switch out where you can easily switch to a different type of tool.
That's an interesting, way to think about it. Sort of the bionic era.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but it is interesting. So we're gonna throw those kind of products out there just for fun and see how they do in the market and see if the customers, is that what they want.
Yeah. So are you still in R&D mode, or is your first client wearing the prosthetics?
Yeah, so we are fully benchtop tested, and we have sent the product, basically just the shell of the product, not all the control systems yet, to our client, and he's kind of basically putting it next to him. He isn't wearing it, he's wearing his current prosthetics still. But once we get that control system, we'll add it to him. We're focusing now on kind of customer trials or clinical trials. But we will always be continuously innovating and be in R&D mode, developing other prosthetic devices, prosthetic legs, or orthotic devices. Orthotic device is just an assistive device that goes on the outside of your arm. So if you have medical condition, it'll assist you, and if your arm doesn't actually work to the full capability, this will help you, kind of assist you in grabbing and releasing objects. So.
Okay. Well, that's a neat idea.
Yeah, we got a lot of ideas up our sleeve. That's for sure. But there's no lack of idea and creativity from our team.
Right.
So that's just fun to see. What's next. I can't wait till our team comes up with just another crazy idea. It seems like every day we're shooting each other like, what if we did this? What if we did this? And so this is, I've kind of taken on the role this lately is managing, growing, setting up our business plans and stuff, and managing that because when you have all those ideas, it costs money, and so we need to get to the market and make money so we can afford to throw out all those crazy ideas. But
right.
At the end of the day, we want to help out people and better society, and so that's our main goal and main drive for our business.
Yeah, your team seems to be getting a lot of recognition and a lot of opportunities lately.
Yeah.
There's a couple of specific ones I want to talk about. First of all, talk about the thing you won just yesterday.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, but they just kind of announced, or it was a couple weeks ago from today. It was the Barnesville Spark Your Startup business pitch contest. There was a bunch of entries. They narrowed it down to some finalists. There was a total of 3 of us we went and pitched our ideas to the Barnesville Economic Development Center, the Stone Ridge Software, and other company sponsors. And it was just a great opportunity, you know, like listen to these the panel of judges was awesome. They had great questions. They were really successful entrepreneurs and giving us advice and what direction we should go. And so it was a fun time just to get up there and talk and say, hey, here's what our idea is and here's what we're trying to do. And they loved it. So it was a great time and exciting that there's those opportunities for entrepreneurs here in Fargo or in this area, I should say, to take their idea to the next level.
Right, absolutely. And then I was reading that one of your founders also went to meet the president?
Yeah, so he's a university, let's see, I always forget this, University Innovation Fellow, UIF. And that's through an organization called VentureWell. And what they've done is organize college reps all across the nation so they can connect all the colleges' innovation and innovative ideas. And so they work with, you know, colleges all across the nation, and they sponsored I forget what it was called, a makers fair kind of at the White House.
Okay.
And so they're showcasing all these entrepreneurs and stuff, and the Innovation Fellows got there and kind of helped out and organized the event. Yeah, I think he snapped me a bunch of pictures of him at the event, and so that's pretty cool. He was also just getting back from that, before he went to that event, he was just getting back from MIT, from their research labs, which was also through that program, VentureWell. Pretty cool organization, for sure.
So, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that starting this venture has opened some doors, some bigger doors. Like you recently even had a couple of speaking engagements.
Yeah, we got lined up with speaking at 1 Million Cups here in Fargo, and then spoke at the State of Technology with Senator Hoeven and the Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo Chamber of Commerce. And so it was a sweet event. I was like really honored to be there. I was like, I think you found the wrong Cooper to speak. And no, just tell your story. And so I went up there and told the story. What was neat about it is they had a great lineup of people, a Botlink, a Pario, Fargo 3D Printing, C2 Renew, and then us. And what ended up happening is we're working right alongside with Fargo 3D Printing and C2 Renew on some stuff. So C2 Renew developed this coffee filament for 3D printers that's actually uses a coffee shive of a coffee plant to create bioplastics. It's all biodegradable. And then Fargo 3D Printing, just a huge, they make the filament and then they also sell printers. And they're industry experts, and so we rely on them a lot. But they ended up printing one of the hands on stage as they're speaking. And then C2 Renew came after them and spoke about their materials. And then I got up and spoke about Protosthetics. And by the time I was done, we had the hand finished.
Oh, that's.
And so it's cool to throw all three of us. Hey, here's all the different. It's not just us that are doing this. The communities have just been tremendous in supporting and helping. And it's awesome to recognize hey, this is a community effort. We want to collaborate and engage the community. And so it's fun to do that.
I think that's a really neat business lesson to learn, because a lot of young businesses really kind of feel like they're an island out there.
Yeah.
Have to do it all by themselves, and where do you turn for partnerships, and and to see that in action, just the collaboration between the specialties of what each of those businesses bring to the table, I think is a really good way of thinking about, your business is not alone.
Yeah, and so that's what's just great I've loved about Fargo, living here. And I lived in the cities this summer, but it's just a great community where everyone in the entrepreneur community supports each other, because we're all taking risks, and we kind of have that, each other to support, so we're helping each other out. Just the other day I had, someone was giving me some advice and stuff, and I was like, well, what can I do for you? Like, do you need anything 3D printed? We have some 3D printers, or do you need anything on the computer? And so it was great to, just interact. Like, it's kind of a pay it forward mentality. Whereas my brother lives out in California, near Mountain View and kind of the Silicon Valley area. And not hating on California, they've done some tremendous things, tremendous companies that came out of there. But it seems like out there that people are more centered on how their business does. They want to be the number one. Instead, we're inviting people into our company and saying, hey, let's all grow and help each other out.
So what have you found to be the biggest hurdle now that you've been out there for a few months?
Yeah, so I think our biggest hurdle is we're still tackling this thing is just getting to market, making sure everything's lined up and in place. That's kind of our biggest hurdle, our biggest challenge right now. But I think we're getting to a point where our business plan's jiving and we're getting closer to that point when we can launch our company, since we're not even really, we're still pre-revenue, we're not even a company yet really. So
how are you funding yourselves?
Yeah, it's basically just came off of the grants that we've won. Back in May, I won the $10,000 OZY Genius Award. Which is a magazine out in California, and so
we really do love that.
So they set us up with a mentor that gave us great advice, and they're actually flying us out there in December. On Sunday we just had our final kind of. They picked 10 people out of 250,000 applicants, and so they got us all in a Google Hangout, and it was just crazy hearing everyone's ideas and their businesses. And there was this children's book for Africa. There was called the Akari book series. There's some crazy cool stuff. People studying magnetism and superconductivity and words that are just like me as a kind of a techie. I'm kind of just getting nerded out by it. And so it's really cool that they found this group of individuals. Now we're going to go out there in December and actually meet each other and help each other out. So.
Oh, that's cool.
The other huge thing that we got this summer was the accepted into the Innovate ND program. And if you're like an entrepreneur out there, best program that's out there. It's incredible that the state of North Dakota is putting forth the money and the effort to put a program out like this. And so we're taking advantage of that and got accepted into it. And we haven't really even started with it yet, but I already know it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Up to about $32,000 in funding if we get through all the stages, which I'm pretty hopeful that we will.
Right.
So
how then are you marketing yourselves? Do you other than being really out there in the community and talking to people? Doing any kind of marketing?
Right now, our marketing is basically we're building our story and just kind of pitching that story, and we're using social media to do that, and actually getting a lot of attention from people all over the country. So that's been great. We just went to an event yesterday actually called Fargo Connect. There's about 500 people put on by a bunch of people, Flint Communications, and they had some powerful speakers there talking about your web presence and how that affects your business. And so I think our marketing there is been huge on social media and the web, and then also publications like Emerging Prairie and Fargo Inform, WDAY, I can't even remember all of them, KVRR, and all these other news sources, Prairie Business Broadcast Radio, and tons of people are just helping us pitch that idea, and the OZY magazine viewed by over 100,000 people a day, I think.
Yeah.
And so there's entrepreneurs all over the nation that are seeing this project. I mean, I just think it's just such a great project that it kind of sells itself.
Right.
So we don't really have to do a whole lot. Well, we do, but it's pretty easy to kind of pitch the idea in our story.
And do you have somebody on the team that's kind of focusing on that, or are you all pitching into social media when you can? I know you have Twitter, you have Facebook. What else are you on?
We are on Instagram and a couple others that are smaller, but mostly Twitter and Facebook. We got a couple guys that are really good that worked for other big companies that did their social media and kind of helped us along. And so we just try to throw out a tweet here and there. Really helps when you take advantage of your business account. A lot of people want to be very, very, very professional and only talk about their technology. But what we do is we try to have fun with it. We try to have good conversations with people. Appreciate other projects is huge on social media. Appreciate what other people are doing. And that build that honesty and that trust and that integrity, and I think that really is helping us with the social media game.
And I think we've seen that really with a lot of startups tend to be more youthful people. Not always, but the sort of stuffy, I'm going to be very professional with everything mentality doesn't really fly with the next generation of businesses. So it's really refreshing to see people being real. This is my real personality. This is really how I speak. This is, you're coming here to have a beer with us. We're just, grateful to just be real.
Yeah.
I think that's refreshing.
I feel like there's a time for everything. There's time to be professional, but there's time that you got to have fun with it, and otherwise you're just gonna get burnt out in what you do. And I always hear this, in the kind of what surprised me is there's people say there's good days and there's bad days. Well, maybe I haven't got to that point, but I always think that there are always good days. No matter if you have a bad thing that happens to you, there's always something better that you did that day, or something better or worse that it could have been. And so having that kind of positive energy and just having fun with it, and I think that's huge. So that you stay relaxed and enjoy and keep enjoying what you do. You gotta love what you do, and so
you do have to love what you do. Yeah. So what motivates you?
Yeah, I just love helping people out, and coming from, we started an organization at NDSU called Thon ND, which is a dance marathon, to help out the Children's Miracle Network. And the first year we raised over $16,000, and it just was like awesome energy to see, like I said, think about positive. There's kids that are spending days in hospitals and have to deal with, like Jameson, our 3-year-old boy that we're working with, and he's working every day trying to figure out how do I put my clothes on without any arms, or with my prosthetic arms that only pinch, and so that's tough. And I've been pretty fortunate, so I want to help out and give back to people, and so I think that this is a great way of doing it.
You seem to have a lot of motivation to give back to sort of children with working with the Children's Miracle Network, and your first client. And is that personal to you? Is there a story there?
No, I mean, I have a little brother and he's awesome, but I think like our youth are the next generation, and they're gonna have to deal with anything that we mess up. So why not help them out now? And so they can, they have so much energy and no stress, and so when I see our client's face light up when he's got blue fingers and he just loves that. Now his little brother's jealous and he wants blue fingers. That's what I'm not making money right now with this at all, and so that's what it's like. Oh yeah, let's spend a couple of extra hours of the day, working on this project because you're helping out him, and I want to help out all people in general, but pediatrics has been our focus so far.
Yeah. There's, when you think about all the things that you can do in 24 hours, and we never have enough time to get everything done, and especially when you're running your own company and going to school and all the other things that, kind of, go along with that. What do you wish you had more time to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a freedom with a startup. You get to, spend as little time or as much time, preferably more time, so you can, grow it faster. But I just, I still haven't got to that point where I feel like I'm running out of time. This is what I want to be doing in my free time anyway, so I'm doing that. And I guess the only thing is I'm an avid cyclist, and last summer I was on a cycling team out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and yeah, sure. So I guess I would like to have more time cycling. I only get about 2 or 3 days out now and a week on cycling and working out, and but
there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I'd say cycling, and then also just spending more time with family. But I've got a great family and friends, and they really support what I'm doing and help out. So it's been great. I don't know. I guess that's probably I get to do what everything I feel like I'm doing. So.
That is really a good position to be in, because boy, I could answer that question much differently. So, running any business is a journey. It really is. And when you think about where do you want this journey to go in 5 years and 10 years, do you have, what is your vision for your 5 year and your 10 year?
Yeah, so what they say, the statistic that surprises me is they say in 5 years or so that every person's going to have a 3D printer in their home. And I don't, there's a community that kind of realizes the potential of this, but it's going to become the next industrial revolution, I feel. And the way things are going to be operated in manufacturing specifically is crazy. And so we kind of want to be a company that's on that forefront of using 3D printing as our manufacturing process. And so, in 5 or 10 years, I could see, everyone having that 3D printer. And say you forget your spatula breaks, and when you're cooking, you could go quickly 3D print a spatula. It's just, the power of the technology is just crazy. And so, I just want to, kind of be a leader in that emerge. 3D printing has been around since the 1980s, surprisingly. But from what I've seen, it's because of certain patents that have expired after 20 years.
Okay.
And so now there's this this community that has driven the price of a 3D printer down from used to cost around $250,000, and those were only for big industries to prototype with their engineers. And now you can get a desktop printer for under $1,000. It's incredible, and it's going to keep going down. It's just like the computers, how they start off as big mainframes, and only banks and big industries could use them, and now everyone's got 2 or 3 computers. You got a computer right on your phone now.
Yes.
And they still call it a phone, which surprises me because it's much more than that.
Right.
And the other statistic is they say computer memory and stuff doubles every year. But then they also said that the 3D printing technology is doubling every 6 months.
Wow.
And so 5 years, this could be coming even sooner than that. And I think it's already starting off. Google's recognizing that big companies, Google's just given out it's been they just gave out $600 million to this other company to develop this new type of 3D printing. There's about 7 types of 3D printing. The most common being basically extrusion type plastic based. There's also SLA, which uses a liquid resin,
okay,
uses a laser and cures that liquid resin. So there's different types of 3D printing when you're talking about it, but the main one is using basically weed whacker filament or line,
Okay.
drives it through like a hot glue gun, if you can imagine a hot glue gun.
Yeah.
Comes out molten and then it hardens. And so we lay it down on a like a big plate, we call it a build plate, and then it hardens, and we do this layer by layer. And so there's objects that we can create that can't be created in any other way, which is really cool to see. Is like we couldn't machine something like that in certain geometry, in certain fashions. And actually, like with the bone research that Andy's doing, they're finding out like that the structure of a bone could never actually be created in any other way than using 3D printing technology. And so, yeah, I can't talk too much more about theirs because there's more closed source. But our company is going to be, that brings me to another point, is we're going to be open source. So we're going to be licensing our technology, and our designs and files are going to be on our website, so you can go and download our files and build them if you have the capabilities. Sounds kind of counterproductive to a business, right? You want to, make money on it and keep your technology to yourself. But recently, and this isn't a new kind of thing, but recently, a lot of companies are going more open source. Companies like Tesla, even huge companies. Software has been open source for a long time because it when you get that update, do you have to pay for that update, or should you just automatically be awarded that update here? And so that's why open source is kind of a huge platform for software, and especially now 3D printing. With anyone having the capabilities anywhere, we want to make this, and even third world countries is a huge market area for us that we want to focus on. And being able to get them affordable prosthetic devices when they can't afford. Like here, you can afford it. It's hard. It's a struggle for families. But there, they go without them,
right.
And that's it.
Right.
They don't have any other way. And so we can get these prosthetic arms to them by being open source. And just recently talked to someone here in Fargo on the Haiti medical mission trip, and it's a bunch of Fargo doctors and Fargo residents that go down to Haiti every year and give their medical, volunteer by giving their medical backgrounds and helping
Yeah,
out.
my cousin's an OR nurse for them.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Or she?
Yeah. So she goes down every year. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So we they found out about this guy who's missing limb down there, and they're like, well, can we take your prosthetic down there this winter? I think it is. And so I was like, yeah, let's set that up. That sounds awesome. So yeah. I don't know what the question was, but I just kept talking.
No, that's
great. I like talking.
Let's see. I've asked you so many of my questions, but I know there's going to be a good one in here that I should still ask. Time.
I guess one thing I just kind of like to say is, if you're interested in this and you want to help out in some way, send us an email, and we'd love to. If you want to learn about 3D printing, we want to use this as an educational platform. So you want to learn about 3D printing, or you want to learn about electronics or programming. We want to be that kind of resource for the community to teach people. We find a lot, and my mom's a computer science teacher in her school, and she finds a lot of time it's really hard to teach programming because kids struggle with it when they don't see what's actually happening. They're just involved in the background. And so we can have an application for where their programming is making a difference, then they get a lot more excited and the learning curve is a lot faster.
Right.
So one of the things that we want to do is a community build day where basically the whole, we set up shop, bring all our 3D printers and invite the community to just come and build arms and send them to people and write letters and tell them, how's get to to people and connect the whole world.
Right.
We want, our minds can only do so much.
Yeah.
But if you can connect the whole world and get everyone's thinking we want to be that platform.
So in a community day like that, when you have people just, showing up and wanting to contribute and make a 3D arm. What does the community have to know? Do they have to know, like, is it like AutoCAD? Like I have all
Yeah.
these preconceived ideas of what I need to know in order to run a 3D printer.
We want anyone from any type of education background. There is learning to be done at any point in your life. Someone may be a CAD expert, but they don't know about this subject, and so hey, but this person that knows really a lot about this subject doesn't know anything about CAD. If we can connect those people, and who knows what can come out of this, and inspire other people to start other 3D printed projects or businesses. So I think it'll be fun. It's going to take a lot to get it launched, and
Right.
We're looking at people in the community to help out. So if if you're good at organizing events and stuff like that, send us an email again, and let's connect and work together.
So that's like sort of the next step is just, getting people to come be part of your tribe and say, hey, I want to learn, or I want to help, or
Yeah.
just to contact you in any way, and then you can find a place for them.
That's the goal. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I love meeting people, and everyone love listening to people's stories, and actually right now it's the they call it the community or Fargo Welcoming Week for all the people from different countries, and just at 1 Million Cups today, they had people stand up say what country you're from, and throughout the whole crowd there was over there was 20 different people from other countries, and it was that's awesome that we're in a community that we're not struggling with like here in Fargo, like is there racism or not. We're embracing that and saying let's learn about your culture and apply it to ours, and you see that what do they call it, cultural infusion, and it happens, and that is really interesting. So I went off on another tangent.
No,
Forgot where I was going with that.
No, that's really good.
That was just really cool for me to see too, and Fargo's just a great place, and yeah.
Yeah, Fargo is a fantastic place. Cooper, I really want to thank you for coming
Yeah.
in today and sitting down
Really-
with us in the
yeah.
studio, and
Really appreciate your time too.
yeah, just giving us a scoop on what you're up to.
It's always fun to tell our story and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah. So if you want to get involved, we will put Cooper's contact info in the description here below our video, so you could come and find it. Or if you're watching this video after the fact, you'll be able to see it right there. And if you have a startup and maybe want to come and sit in the chair where Cooper's sitting, you can contact us through ShortCast TV. And we'll see if you want to come and hang out, drink some beer.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Fargo Brewing Company. We're enjoying your beer tonight. And thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.
great.
Sweet.
Did we get?
How much time did we spend on that?